Hey guys, today's subscriber shoutout goes to Melina. Thank you for subscribing and being a subscriber. And today's commenter shoutout goes to Woozworld. Thank you for commenting and watching my videos. Now, let's get into the video. Welcome to episode 6 of Times with Noble, my storytime series where I tell you guys about my experiences playing Woozworld and being a WoozTuber. If you'd like to see previous or future episodes, I will link the playlist to the series in the description. I was actually very hesitant to tell this story because I had a feeling that it might start some stuff up again, but I wanted to wait a little bit before I told the story, and I think I'm finally ready to tell it because it's been about a year since this happened, so everything's kind of cooled down. The story happened in July of 2022, but I know the people who are involved in the story are probably going to see this video, and if they do and they get mad or offended, well, sorry, but like, it's in the past, it happened almost a year ago, so I don't really see any reason to get mad about it now. And also, it's not like I'm going to be saying any of their real names or anything, so I don't really see any reason to get mad over this. So yeah, this all happened in July of 2022. At the time, there was a Woozworld Discord server that was gaining popularity. It was still kind of new, and it's actually still up to this day, and it still has a lot of members, I think. I was not in this server, but I had a couple of friends who were in the server. And I honestly didn't even know about the server until one of my friends who was in the server told me about it. But one day she told me something, and the server, the staff of the server, the admins, and the owner of the server, or whoever ran the server, they made a very dumb decision, and they put a lot of their members at risk. Like, they put a lot of the members' Woozworld accounts at risk for getting banned. My friend told me that this server hosted a giveaway, and I wasn't sure if it was for beaks or something. I don't really remember what it was for, but in order to enter the giveaway, you had to go on Woozworld and you had to private chat a ton of people and invite them to the Discord server. Now, obviously, this is against the rules because you are sharing private information, social medias, so a lot of people who entered this giveaway that the server was hosting, they did end up getting their Woozworld accounts suspended because of this. So that was the first thing that the server was doing that was a little stupid. But that's not all. Since a lot of these server members' Woozworld accounts were getting suspended, the staff of the server decided to make up for it by allowing the server members to start selling items and Woozworld accounts for real money. Which, if you did not know, is an extremely bannable offense. Like, if you get caught doing that, your Woozworld account will get banned. It's extremely against the rules. It's against policy. And when my friend told me that, it just made me so mad because, like, you really don't care about your members. Like, you're really putting them at risk. Like, you do something stupid, get a ton of them suspended, and then to make up for it, you decide to allow them to do something that could get them banned. Like, make it make sense. And at the time, when my friend told me about this, yeah, like I said, it just made me really mad because I felt really angry for those server members that the staff members of the server were putting at risk. So, out of pure anger and just, like, irritation, I made a post on my walls about the situation. I didn't name anybody. I didn't even give the name of the server. I just said how it was stupid that a server was doing this, and then to make up for it, they did that, and then just talking about how they're putting a lot of their members at risk for being banned. And that was that. I honestly did not think anything of it at all because, again, I had no names in the post, didn't even put the server name in the post. I didn't even know that I had any of the members or the owner friended. I know I didn't have the owner friended, but I didn't really think I had any of the members friended. I didn't really think anyone would care that much. However, my friend that was in the server, she started sending me screenshots of what was happening in the server. One of the server members was on my friends list, and she took a screenshot of my post. She included, like, my username and everything, so everybody could see that it was me who posted it. She took a screenshot of what I posted, and she sent it in the server. And here is where everything gets so incredibly crazy. People were genuinely angry about my post. People were really mad at me. And the funny thing is, they knew the post was about their server. Even though I didn't mention the server name, they knew the post was about them. So, like, they kind of knew that they were in the wrong, but I guess they just didn't want to admit it or something. But yeah, my friend who was in the server just started sending me tons and tons of screenshots. The people in the server started making up rumors about me, and I honestly don't know where they were getting this information from because absolutely none of it was true. They started saying I was a scammer, and then they started saying I was 13, and that is just not true. It wasn't true at the time. I'm older than 13, and I also was at the time. They started bashing and making fun of my YouTube channel, and they were even talking about how I've been making Woozworld videos for so long, and since I was apparently 13, that must have meant I had been making videos since I was like 8 or 9 years old or something like that. And I was just like, literally why? Like, all I did was make one post, and you're doing all this? But not only were they just bashing me and my YouTube channel and making fun of it, and making rumors about me, they were also harassing me. Yeah. The owner of the server and the mods started sending the server members to add me on Woozworld, and they were messaging me. Some of them were commenting on my wall. My walls was friends only, and it still is. So in order to like comment on my walls and stuff, they started adding me. And at the time, I didn't really know. So I would like accept these requests, and then they would just message me and comment on the wall. And of course, immediately I would, unfriend them. More and more of them kept adding me to try and harass me, but there was one channel in this server where you could verify yourself, and in order to verify yourself, you had to say what your Woozworld username was. So my friend who was in the server was actually able to go through and tell me what these people's usernames were that were planning on harassing me or adding me to stalk me. So my friend was giving me like a list of people who were harassing me. Like, she was giving me a list of their Woozworld usernames, so of course I was unfriending them, and they started noticing pretty quick, and they started freaking out, saying I was spying, saying I had a spy in the server. The owner of the server actually started name dropping me on her walls, which of course was sending even more of her minions to attack me. And I was just in so much shock because I genuinely didn't think it was that big of a deal, especially since I didn't say anyone's names. I didn't say what the server's name was. And the really funny thing is, this server, they preached, and they still do, but they always preached drama-free. Their server is so drama-free, no drama allowed. However, they literally did this over one small thing. And I also know countless people that have issues with the same server, or the owner or staff members of the server. And every time I hear about the server, it's always drama. My friend who was in the server even sent me screenshots one time of the people in the server making fun of somebody's theme game unit, calling it ugly. One time I was sent screenshots of the members in the server making fun of somebody because they private chatted a girl and asked her where her hair was from, I believe, something like that. But yeah, keep preaching drama-free, guys, and your kindness. They couldn't even follow their own rules. Like, the owner of the server and the staff members couldn't even follow the own rules of the server, guys. Like, one of the rules was be kind, don't harass people. Obviously, they did not follow that rule. One was like respect others' privacy. I don't think discussing someone's age is respecting their privacy, or making up rumors about how old they are is respecting their privacy. Also, not to mention, most of the members of the server are adults, especially the staff members and the owner. They're all adults, and I was what they believed to be 13. So, you guys over here, fully grown adults, bullying and making fun of and harassing what you think is a 13-year-old child. That's very sad. It really is. And also, to this day, well, I shouldn't say that because it honestly hasn't happened in quite a while, but for the longest time after this happened, the owner of the server, she would come to my unit. Like, if I was hosting an event or a game, she would come to my unit, she would sit there, she would wait for me to say something to her, and obviously I didn't, so she would just leave. And there have been a few times I was in a unit, she also happened to be in the same unit, she would just come up to me and stand next to me, say nothing, and she was waiting for me to say something to her first, and when I wouldn't say anything, she would leave. Like, she was trying to start something. She wanted me to say something to her. But yeah, keep preaching drama-free in your server, hon. Like I said earlier, I know countless people that have problems with this server and their drama. The people in the server, mainly the owner and her staff members, they love to make up rumors about people. They make up lies about people. One time, someone even told me that there was a big scandal going on in the server because I guess the owner of the server's moderators came out and they basically called out the owner of the server for treating them very poorly and for only seeing the members of the server as a number. Like, the mods were saying that the owner only cared about the number of members in the server and she didn't actually care about them as people. I just heard a lot of things about the server that always had to do with drama. The server was always in some type of drama. And a few months ago, I actually spoke to a former moderator of the server, and we were talking about the whole situation that happened with me. And she said she didn't know at the time, but what I said in my post on my walls was correct. But yeah, nothing has really happened since then, because it has been a while, so it's definitely died down. But I do know that the server, the staff, they're still very problematic. I think the owner even got exposed for being racist. I believe there's a video of her being racist. And yeah, the server is still up. There's still a ton of people in the server. But I'm not in the server. I don't talk to anyone that's in the server. Well, except a few of my friends that are in the server. But like, I don't talk to anybody who was involved with the whole thing. Like anyone who was making fun of me and harassing me and all that. I don't talk to any of them, obviously. But yeah, nothing's really happened since then. So I guess that's the end of this crazy story. Let me know what you guys think of this whole situation down in the comments. What would you have done? Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, while all of that was going on, I was not responding to any of their messages. I wasn't responding to any of their comments on my walls. I was just deleting them. I wasn't saying anything to them. I wasn't posting anything else about them. Literally, the only thing I posted about them was that one post I made on my walls. That was it. I did nothing else. So I don't know why they kept continuing to harass me and make fun of me. Like, it was just crazy. But yeah, that's all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I love you guys so much, and goodbye.